gonna find out if they do build more pressure, everyone, because we have picks and bans ready for game number 2. It is NRG versus Rival. The history between these two teams just fuels the flames of what's going on in this competition.
And I think NRG were trying to be too fancy with that Fenrir ban, leaving a Mercury for iceicebaby. Every jungler, all 8 teams here have a jungler that can destroy anyone with a Mercury. So I don't think that should have been let through.
All right. Alposh, Freya, same bans that we saw in last game, and then the Odin ban, but this is where we're gonna see if it's gonna be Fenrir or if it's gonna be Mercury. Maybe they ban the Fen and hopefully, or I mean, maybe they ban the Merc and then hopefully they don't pick Fenrir.
Even if I'm not too worried about a first pick Fenrir, right? Because you know what you're gonna get out of that. You're gonna be expecting to see aggressive dual lane action. You just gotta play around it, but NRG are not deterred.
Again.
Lasbra, why would they ban Fenrir and get the Mercury again?
I'm not sure.
They
You know what it is? NRG made a mistake by letting Mercury and Erlang Shen go through. I think that was the biggest issue. They got Athena Chiron here. There's no way they don't pick an Erlang Shen, right?
I'm thinking they get the Erlang Shen here as well and they go keep it for the flex.
Really? There's the Chiron. No, this is just going to be a repeat of last game. So if we do see the same comps, NRG is just going to have to step their game up a little bit.
They definitely have to step up their game because I wasn't really impressed by emilitoo's Chiron. Like, a Chiron's a great pick, but in that game, it didn't warrant a first pick value for me.
So Rival here picking the Raijin, and they do have another pick to go out, though. Is it going to be that Erlang Shen? And there it is.
Expect the level 1 pressure yet again. Maybe having a more aggressive soul laner that actually fight that.
Yeah, I agree. Again, the Erlang could be the support, it could be a solo again, but I'm expecting to see it solo this time. And also, I think the Raijin pick here is really good. Like, we see how strong the Raijin is, like top damage throughout almost the whole game. homiefe played that really good. I'm expecting to see the same from Wlfy.
Honestly, if Deathwalker is going to do the same level 1 shenanigans, maybe have maniaKK do it on the flip side, right? But like with his Chang'e pick, leads me to believe it's going to be Chang'e solo.
Yeah, you said that you wanted an aggressive solo laner last bro. Chang'e, not very aggressive, but potentially that late game that you're looking for.
Looking for mid-late game. I don't think Chang'e got too good rotations, but if you force a fight mid-tower or something, like playing around to sustain can be fine, but it's going to be a dangerous one, this one.
So Chang'e's not aggressive from levels 1 through 8, but once you get Breastplate of Valor for the 20% cooldown reduction and you're sitting at level 9, you max out your Crescent Moon, I think that's when she becomes the lane bully against almost any soul laner. But the problem is surviving the levels 1 through 8 to get to that position.
Well, in case Erlang is in that solo, or Erlang Shen is in that solo lane, how does this Chang'e Erlang Shen matchup go, Lasbra?
I'm expecting Erlang to do the same, going for the speed buff again, invading almost every blue buff, even going for some solo kills on the Chang'e should be manageable.
Have Baron and Discordia respectively being banned out here, and 2 more bans. We got the Geb. Geb, we wasn't really seen too much prioritized, so why are they worried about him right now?
I think the cleanse is the biggest deal. Like, if they want to solo kill anybody with Athena taunt, Waxing Moon follow-up, then you don't want to have that Geb on the flip side to prevent your playmaking opportunity.
Is that what we're seeing then? Is NRG doing that solo pick? They're not really looking for the team fights for the start of the game?
I think so, honestly, and that's the way you got to do it within Athena. Control the vision around the map and use that dash taunt in any way you can.
And a Giannis ban there. Again, was that something that Rival was really expecting NRG to pick up?
Apparently, they maybe have some intel because, like Ro mentioned, there was 2 weeks of boot camp in Virginia. Not too many teams are familiar with what our NRG have been running.
I do appreciate, though, the respect that they're giving them, being like, listen, homiefe did really well in the mid lane, even with a losing team there, so they're worried about him.
His mechanics were never in question to me. It's all about kind of his leadership, which is what kind of helped him transition away from CLG. But now he has an opportunity. He showed up in that last game, Lasbra.
Yeah. Taking away like the combo picks from homiefe is really good like strategy from Rival, because if it's gonna be homiefe off guard, I think that's the way like to even more stomp the game even more.
What are you guys thinking about this Scylla?
It makes sense. You got so much setup. Athena, Chang'e. There's going to be a lot of stun duration depending on which target gets hit by the Waxing Moon. And I'm a monster. We've seen how effective it was in Season 1 Worlds.
Fafnir being picked out, going, oh, no, never mind, and maybe the Sylvanus. Either pick pretty decent for Kalis, though.
He does like the Fafnir from time to time, and when you have Mercury or Erlang Shen, that makes sense. The coerce, the steroid ability to increase your allies' attack speed, and you go to Draconic form, now it becomes an AoE coerce. It makes sense, but going for Sylvanus allows you to get some more control in these team fights.
And definitely some more sustain there. Not really saving your teammates unless you grab a really good pull there and use your ultimate. But the Xbalanque, how is this Sylvanus and Xbalanque dueling?
Sylvanus and Xbalanque dual lane is going to the box. They're going to win the dual lane. Like, they're just going to box, fight at the tower if that's what they have to do. They're going to invade purple, red buffs, everything they can do to do that.
I think another idea from the Xbalanque is to blind the Scylla during the ultimate, make it more difficult to land that ultimate.
That's a really good idea. All right, how do you want NRG to round out this team?
They need an aggressive soul laner to not get bullied by Erlang, Shen and get first blooded before minions touch.
Wait, an aggressive solo laner, so Chang'e's not going to be...
Oh, sorry, they already got the Chang'e, yes. So
a jungle.
Yes, it has to be. Unless it's going to be Athena's jungle. I don't expect Adapting to do that necessarily, though. Pele's open. That could be an idea. Dodgy, I know.
I would like to see a Pele here. Pretty good early game pressure. Can control the jungle.
And it doesn't seem like you really need too much CC anymore. It looks like between Scylla, Chang'e, and Athena, and then, you know, like, they have enough CC already.
They have enough control, and if you have not control, I think the Pele is just really good. They have so much damage mid-game, early game. And if they can get to late game with those 4 picks right now, that's what I want to look for.
So you want NRG to pick something aggressive here?
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Maybe some global pressure. How are we feeling about Ratatasker? We haven't seen it in a while.
I mean, I
know you're the man for Ratatasker.
Yeah, I love Rat. It's not the best late game, but with its setup energy you can have for late game, I think Rat could be a really good choice here.
I feel like there's going to be a lot of setup and damage between the Chang'e Scylla that somebody needs to clean up. So if you do have a Ratatasker, no one is getting away from Adapting.
I agree. I think Rat would actually be a really good pick here when you think about it.
You said it, Anatoly! It's Thor!
Yes. Just yes.
Yes, please.
As excited as you are about Ymir or Hell, that's how excited I am about the Thor pick right now. Old Adapt King needs to come out.
The one thing I'm worried about for early game, not enough. It doesn't have too much pressure.
Does the rest of that team make up for his lack in early game?
Yes, I think so. I think there's plenty of setup. And now also Thor, Deathwalker's not coming at you level 1 if you're a Thor. Maybe sure if you're a Circuit, but the Thor passive, you get more power if an enemy is next to you. So please come next to me, screaming Adapting.
Man, this is so exciting, guys. Rival versus NRG game number 2 here. Looking at these comps, who do you give it to?
So I gave it to NRG in the last game. I'm not going to change my mind here. And it's not because of the Thor.
But you do have a curse, you know that, right? Anyone that you say that's gonna win,
have a curse.
I think you've been right like maybe 30%
Hey,
of the
right,
time.
so in my prediction video, I actually have Rival going all the way. But yeah, like winning the whole championship.
Oh, okay.
But NRG specifically, I like NRG's comp a little bit better. It's all going to come down to execution, however.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at the late game again, NRG is going to win, but this time I think Rival's going to do the same. They're going to control everything early game, and I'm thinking Rival's going to take this win as well.
I feel like you guys aren't too confident about your picks, but maybe our casters will have a more confident idea of how this game's going to go.
Great job, Kelly. Great job, Lasbra. Totally, you're killing it too. And as we get into game, I'm really excited to see if NRG are going to be able to bounce back.
I mean, homie on the Scylla, that's something that he loves to play, and I know that. Adapting on Thor, man, how can you hate on that? It's going to be an absolute blast. I am concerned about NRG. This is a setup composition for the newest piece. This is the feed homie comp.
Yeah.
That being said, emilitoo's playing a hunter that follows up off setup better than most.
True.
In the Chiron. So you can still rely on Emil step up. Are you a little surprised we didn't see Kronos? Because I'm a little surprised we didn't see Kronos.
A little bit. I think the cleanse is dummy good. And saying goodbye to it is a bad choice. That said, I love the Thor pick. Sure, it's to feed homie. Homie knows every trick in the Thor book. Hey, I thought we were watching game 2. This is game 1.
Deathwalker's looking for more again on the maniaKK, and again, he's just running him down in the 1v2.
The med, that changes it all.
What's
but Deathwalker, he's got friends again. The first blood for DW.
God, it must be so annoying to play against Rival. I mean,
really.
Deathwalker shows up and is just in your face again, and let's kill this jerk. And then his friends show up like they didn't last time.
Well, that's what I love about it is the first time we see it, as the invade happens on the other side.
Wlfy got it.
Is he gonna get in trouble though?
No, I think he's okay. emilZy's gonna slow him down, but he's A all right. No, homie's not there to follow up, so there's just no way Athena has enough damage.
Totally A all right there, but Deathwalker, the beauty of that was game number 1, he had no help. And so NRG tried to respond this time, and he goes,
Watch
yo,
out.
JK.
Yo, watch out, emilitoo's in some trouble here. emilZy doesn't have the taunt. Big damage coming from Vote's extra autos, but that sprint is enough to get emilitoo out of danger. Love that game of chicken between Ice and emilitoo.
Right now, another invade on the blue buff. Deathwalker dealing with it
don't
this
win this,
time, but this is Thor, the passive.
You don't win that, though. Good knockup immunity. Deathwalker doesn't go for the knockup anyways, but that extra shield may have been enough to give him enough to stand there and fight, besides against it.
Let's take a second look at that first blood. Since we have the opportunity, respawn first blood, here it is. And again, Deathwalker just does what he did in game number 1, but this time he has help.
It's all about that help. The sprint as well. I mean, Mercury, remember, gets extra power from movement speed. Sprint counts. It only lasts for a little bit of time, and that was enough to get him in range to set up.
So NRG trying to find their way back into it, and they're looking for it on the solo side of the map. Deathwalker got the early kill. Double tap doesn't happen. And so
Maniac needs help.
Oh, he does, but Adapting didn't get the memo. Here he is, hits the Berserker's Barrage, the follow-up damage. It's got to be very careful for Maniac. Deathwalker is tearing him up.
Is Erlang Shen good? I don't know. Seems pretty good to me. I don't know. Another 1v2 for the boy.
Left side, another fight. You know why he's good?
Why's that? He's got a dog. Thanks,
Got
Tom.
a dog.
Great analysis. Speed buff invade right on time. That 1v2 fight that Deathwalker took not only continues to annoy NRG, but also opened up that invade perfectly because that was great timing for when that buff was coming up and the red. So the two most important buffs on the map go to Rival.
Rival have just been systematically dismantling NRG here in game number 2. And again, a lot of it is similar to what we saw in game 1, but with just a slight adjustment. They've really bounced back here in game, or I don't want to say bounced back, but that's what's really impressive. You can lose a game and go, well, we lost a game to A, B, and C, so we just counter it. But how do you win the game and then counter the enemy's counter before they even employ it?
Rival's playing chess.
Yeah.
NRG is not quite checkers,
Go.
but it's something along those lines. They've got something else going on. They aren't playing on the same board.
Parcheesi.
Don't know how to play that.
I just like to say Parcheesi.
Maybe a little bit of Othello. Othello's a pretty fun game.
That's a derivative of Go.
Oh, is it? I don't know anything about Go. Oh, homie, looking for it. You wanted the heat check, and again, I've got no problem with that.
No.
Because especially NRG is not fighting anytime soon as a squad. Adapting's level 2, so there's no chance he's gonna need that I'm a monster soon anyways.
Same conversation that I had in game number 1, because it's trust in himself to go for it, and the team is trusting him to let him have the liberty to use that ultimate. A lot of times, no, save it, save it, save it. The team is letting him he has the green light, as we would say, and I really like NRG and Homie having that freedom. I think that's a really positive sign.
It is not a coincidence that Rival has started both games on speed buff. This has been a dedicated effort from this team because when you look at a team that loses their mid laner, the obvious thought is, oh, we'll just can't mid. We'll just kill the subs. But really, you want to hit the guy who's affected most by it, and it's the jungler. It's Adapting. Also, Adapting, notoriously, doesn't like a speed buff taken very much. So if he's already off his game because he doesn't have his long-time partner there. I mean, these dudes have played together for 3 years at this point. When was the last time Adapting's played with another mid laner in a competitive setting like this? It's been never. He's never played a LAN without Yemen by his side.
That's true.
So getting Adapting off of his game even further, setting him further down the hole is a great look.
Homie's in trouble, but emilZy shows up to help. Homie loses about 80%. And emilZy successfully keeps Wlfy off of his mid lane. emilZy in trouble now, and he's dodging, ducking, weaving, and walking. Support narrowly escapes.
iceice charging that ultimate. Might have enough just with the damage alone, but emilZy using that tower as his own protection. Weird target switch there from Wlfy. I thought he was going to try and follow the Sentinel and kill homiefe with that Taiko drums, but instead switches over to emilZy when he really needed to be putting all 4 Taiko drum shots into emilZy, if that's what the plan was.
He did everything emilZy wanted him to do, and it was wrong. Like, emilZy totally just goaded Wlfy into the wrong play. So in that case, I give it to emilZy. Great job there from the support. Mid lane tower does go down. JK, not yet.
Pretty low, though. Adapting also pretty low. He's going to need some help. Beads and a waxing moon and a meditation. Still might not be enough. still barely able to escape just on the edge. And he needed all that help and more, and he's still only level 4. By the way, speed buff's coming up soon. I wonder where iceicebaby is going to head.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he's in the jungle. Adapting, though. Level 5 drastically changes Thor's play. He just becomes so much more rotatable. Very similar to Ratataska. The characters are very similar. So I don't think what we've seen from adapting or lack thereof, we haven't seen much. I don't think that's representative of what we're going to get in the mid game.
I do not like Rival letting adapting off the hook, though, by not going for that speed buff. I mean, you've got Deathwalker with pressure. Yes, he doesn't have ultimate, but neither does maniaKK. Wlfy was close enough that he could have gotten there to affect the fight later on. It would have been tardy, but it would have still been there. And sometimes coming to play cleanup crew is what your mid laner does best at this point in the game anyways.
Sure.
Rival, I think, let NRG off the hook a little bit there, and adapting is still 2 levels down. Still down by a ton, but at least he got his speed and he hit level 5.
I agree with you. I think that type of strategy is a consistent strategy.
He needs to ult.
And that's exactly what Adapt is going to do. Did he get chunked that hard to the yellow?
Sure did.
Oof.
That's a Mink 4 auto attack cancel that did that much damage. And Deathwalker is full damage right now, basically. Gladiator shield has nothing to do with defense for him in this lane matchup. It's all about holding W at your opponent.
That was hot. Through the wall, the ultimate. maniaKK goes for it. Does he get the blue? No. Still standing.
Deathwalker on the way to pick that up. Looks like Ice was indeed able to secure it, even through the waxing moon. Ice should have full boots pretty close to done at this point. He's been out on the map with that golden blade for quite some time. And as soon as that, I mean, this Mercury is already basically insta-clearing these camps as is. Once he gets boots, it's game over.
Well, here's a little bit of aggression from maniaKK. At what point can maniaKK fight DW? Oh, a pull into the ultimate from the mid lane mage, but a nice wiggle. homiefe gets on out of there. So at what level can maniaKK start to tussle with Deathwalker?
Roughly around level 27.
I figured as much. It's just not the right fight that he wants to take, and he continues to fight into Deathwalker. Now, is that all right? Is he wasting Deathwalker's abilities or time?
Deathwalker is not, maniaKK is not choosing to fight Deathwalker. It is the defensive retreat of please stop hitting me. Maybe if you're a little bit lower, you might be nicer to me sort
That's
of
strategy.
A lie. It's just not going to work for him. maniaKK lives underneath that tower for now, but if you look at his tower health, he's done a pretty good job of keeping minions from outside that tower range, so he hasn't been losing as much gold to the tower as he potentially could have up until this point.
Early on, adapting, finally getting a little aggressive, although it is on the defensive side of the map. Yeah, that Mercury clear, how about that?
It's good. It is good. Erlang and Mercury thought of as the 2 best characters in the game right now, potentially, and Rival in back-to-back games has both.
I mean, it's got to be a breakdown, right? It's got to be a busted picks and bans. There's no way that NRG are doing that correctly.
I agree with you. I don't understand why NRG isn't picking the Mercury for themselves. It's been Erlang first pick, and then they leave the Mercury open, and I just don't think that's the look. Adapting's got a phenomenal Mercury.
Yeah.
Give it to him. And especially in a game where he might need to carry the bulk of the load, to put it nicely, Mercury's the god that can do it.
That's how NRG made their original money. They won 2 world championships off of trusting Kenneth. And they won't do it here?
And Yemen.
That is a big point. We're missing him. That's for sure. Pyromancer going to Team Arrival. A little bit of ultimatage used by Wlfy. Again, unceremonious seems to be the word of choice for this set. Here we go, though. A big knock-up, lines up iceicebaby. Now damage Collis locked in. Nice, clean setup. NRG 10.5 minutes in. Finally get on the board. But they're 4,000 gold down at 10 minutes.
Signs of life. Adapting, looking for Deathwalker. Not enough damage at the wall on the wrong side, so no help coming from the rest of NRG. But signs of life.
Signs of life for a team in the ICU, maybe.
Yes.
4K down at 10 minutes.
They're in the hospital bed, but they're still going. Well, emilitoo falls on the left side. that fight was an overcommit by Rival. That is the entire reason that NRG even gets on the board at all, and that is what NRG needs. They need to have Rival continue to make mistakes because a team like this, up 4K, 11 minutes in, needs to be making mistakes in order to get that, in order to lose their lead.
Cold Fury being started up here by Team Rival. emilZy on the back line, looking to stop and get in the middle. Cold Fury leashed up. emilZy charges the dash 4 different times. Cold Fury picked up one more time. Rival now have control of the objective. NRG trying to sneak on in. There's a taunt.
Big
one
one
more time. This is going to be Athena taunt, but Vote turns it around, and emilZy becomes worm food.
Adapting just too far away. That's a huge taunt from emilZy, but Rival's just daring him to hit them with the big taunt because they know Homie didn't have the ultimate up at that point. If there's I'm a Monster at that spot, NRG may have just two-man wiped Rival from there, but without that I'm a Monster, it's just not possible.
NRG slinking back to their side of the map once again. Team Rival, ultimate control. Here's a nice help from Adapting. Numerous levels down, chasing iceice out of the jungle. iceice low, doesn't care, looking for Adapting. The short port is bad, and Wlfy gets the kill on the jungler. Now he's toasted. Turn around. homiefe with a big ult.
That was big. Wlfy playing very aggressively still on this Raijin, jumps in and then is willing to sit there and kind of trade with homiefe, even though the abilities were down. Didn't have the beads either, so as soon as Homie hits the root, that's guaranteed. Good display of mechanics there from Homie, but again, Adapting needs to use his ult and call for Athena ult to try to defend backs. And he still couldn't.
He was level 8.
Only level 9 now. It's a slow climb for Adapting. And this is where Thor shows off his utility, where a god like Ratatosker is now only ultimate. Those two get compared a lot. Let's see how well Adapting can use his wall to affect these team fights via the stun or via cutting off a path in the jungle.
It's one of my favorite things about Thor is that he does have that second gear. The passive and the damage from the double tap. Yeah, there's a reason they changed him to an assassin from a warrior. But he can also play utility. NRG now see an opportunity, but Vote is just going to turn it around. Adapting answers back, taking care of Collis. It's 1-for-1 until iceice shows up and puts Kenneth down.
I really thought that was going to go poorly for Rival, but NRG may have as well. It did not go poorly for Rival. Big damage coming out of Vote on that Xbalanque, a pick that gave him some trouble at the placement stages. BennyQ may have taught him a thing or two about if it can be good. Ice, gonna catch someone sleeping. Good night, emilZy, sleep tight.
Meanwhile, he just might be the Sandman because his mid laner chases the enemy mid laner. Oh, homiefe doesn't have the vision. The light turned out by the Xbalanque. 7-3.
Ice tries to get a little bit too cute. Didn't need Sonic Boom from that position. Actually takes himself out of position and drops the kill, but still gets the kill onto emilZy regardless.
Listen. You gotta have a lot of guile to use Sonic Boom there.
I'm not with you on that one, sorry.
Kelly's with me. She's got the FGC in mind.
All right, fair enough. Oh, okay, I'm there. I have now arrived.
Sonic Boom.
It's me. I've arrived at the joke.
It's me, the late guy. Team Rival showing up early here. Day number 1 of 3 days of contests here. Downtown Atlanta, Georgia, hi-rez Expo. Here at Dreamhack, got a great set, great crowd, and great games.
The games have not disappointed, that's for sure. I mean, it's been insane. Space Station has a great game against Dignitas, ultimately ends up falling. The trifecta United set was crazy.
Oh no, oh you hate to see it. Just surrounded, pounded, knocked up, and grounded. Wlfy takes care of maniaKK, and emilZy, one hit, runs away.
Adapting will find iceice, and Homie's on the way. Doesn't have that I'm a Monster quite yet, but it's coming up soon.
I don't know if it all matters. Wlfy throws the ultimate away. That's gonna matter though, Ryan. NRG now looking for the loop around. Adapting loses half of his HP.
Adapting can't even find the stun. Homie doesn't have the ultimate either. Pull is there from Collis, and Vote trying to turn on the gas pedal.
That was. Oof. That was the moment. Rival was supposed to win, or NRG was supposed to win that fight. They just drop it.
You can't ask for a better start to a fight from this position than insta-killing the Mercury.
And then Adapting has the perfect flank.
He just looked for, he got a little bit too thirsty for vote.
You know what happened? He had decision paralysis.
Yes.
He sees 3 players at 10% and he goes, and just unable to execute, which is problematic. Because again, I'm the one that's gonna overanalyze the small plays. If Adapting can't do that,
Gotta find the stun and set up for homie there. That's gotta be the call. Rival do end up securing Fire Giant. Big 5-man taunt from emilZy, but he pays for it immediately with his life. Adapting doesn't have his ultimate quite yet, but it will be up soon. Sonic Boom up right now. That'll find maniaKK, and Wlfy will find the finishing blow.
2 players down for NRG. Adapting farming in the mid lane. Fire Giant on the side of Rival. They're leading this game by 10K. And just 17 minutes in. This is the speed of the game that we saw earlier today. The 3rd game in set number 1 where Space Station Gaming was sent home. This is how fast this one went. A lot of the other games have been 40 plus.
Ice trying to get the 1v2 now that emilZy has arrived. Good peel, but Ice has that blink up. He's waiting for Adapting, but 1 crit will get it done. Adapting was trying to split push, get some much needed farm, but Ice was all over him.
emilZy now just trying to run away. Wrapped up, crits are good. The dash will be strong. Ice just occupying the time of the support player. The rest of his team occupying the right lane. emilZy goes down in tandem with his Phoenix.
Rival just choking out energy. I mean, you called it. They have just been in control from the minute they stepped on stage in this set.
They really have been.
It really hasn't felt close.
The NRG guys before this set, they were confident. They really were. When you ask people how they feel, big ultimate coming out from the Chang'e. That one feels good. This is where NRG need to respond, but I like how careful they're being.
Knock up onto maniaKK. Good little dash there to get him out of some danger.
Nice, that's one.
Goes a little bit too deep. Still going for that Phoenix. I'm a monster charged up.
Oh!
Vote has the Aegis, but still blocked off.
NRG still have control, but their golden bow. Wlfy gets a hit on maniaKK. emilitoo answers back. 2 dead on either side. Adapting in trouble, has to dash on home. Rival is unhealthy. NRG can take advantage.
Vote very low. No
Do it!
Aegis. He goes down to Vote, and emilitoo rather, but Deathwalker still finds homie. Emil is going to be next on the list. Wlfy able to put him down.
What a play by Wlfy on the drum right there. Able to go ahead and secure the 4th kill. NRG Rival will still have to retreat. That's a big kill for Wlfy.
Now it's 2 Phoenixes down for NRG. They only have 1 left standing. The XP difference is becoming fatal. We're way past problematic.
Yes.
Wlfy's level 17, homie level 14. Adapting, level 14. emilZy level 11. He doesn't even have a second relic yet, Tom. maniaKK is 5 levels down.
That's the biggest differential for me, Ryan, is the fact that maniaKK is 5 levels down in the solo lane. As a Chang'e, you want to be the battle mage. You want to be literally dancing in the middle of a team fight. Damage to you, heal to you, over and over again. And when you're 5 levels down, the second you initiate and walk in, you just get stepped on. Not a good look.
I said earlier that I really thought that this was a dedicated effort by Rival to shut down Adapting, and I still feel that way, but I also feel like Rival has always had this identity of, we're a team, we're gonna play as a unit.
And they lost that during Season 5, but they just got it back.
They did, but they also just showed up today and gave Deathwalker the biggest, beefiest bat and said, beat maniaKK to death in the solo lane. We'll give you all the farm you need. Here you go. And Deathwalker's just been killing it so far.
That's what he does.
The man.
Left side of the initiation, Adapting comes down, Ice deletes homiefe. Collis gets 1, Vote gets another, 2 for the Hunter from Scotland. The blink forward, and iceicebaby, the Croatian sensation, puts them down. Rival in the driver's seat. They're gonna take the set.
Less than 21 minutes before they get up there. Team Rival emphatically stomp out NRG's Season 5 hopes.
This is how you win a set. Team Rival. I love the word emphatically that you used. They just come in and they make a statement. They go, look, the last land we were at, our coach wasn't there. They feel like they weren't able to show themselves during the summertime. Placements, newly invigorated, come out with a vengeance. And I talked to them, they said, placements, it's not that we don't care. We're not aiming for the truck. We'll show up at finals and show everybody what's up.
They've shown up so far. It's only day 1, but man, did they make a statement here today. And now Trifecta, they feel real good. They beat United. They're like, yeah. And they sit down all happy, ready to watch this great set between Rival and NRG. And they go, oh, we have to play them tomorrow.
You know what? With how confident Paul is, I'm not sure if that's what he's saying. Maybe that man's saying that. I gotta go against Vote. Uh-oh.
The whole team played lights out. I don't know how you look at what Rival just did and go, oh yeah, we can exploit that. But what? Exploit what? You only saw them play for 45 minutes.
Hey man, it's not that big of a deal. All they have to do is deal with Deathwalker taking players 1 versus 3.
Oh, easy.
Rival take the set very quickly. Kelly, break it down.
F.aggro, that game, that set was ridiculous. I mean, Rival looked good in game 1, but game 2.
So even making the switch up of Thor, which is a guy you don't normally want to invade against. Chang'e still for maniaKK. No changes for Deathwalker. He still invades, but this time he brings some friends.
There's so much pressure. Dual lane, Rival pressure, there's solo lane pressure, and Mercury's getting a free early game to like level 5 after the ultimates. It's gonna do whatever he wants to do.
That was crazy.
I mean, but it was from the picks and bans that it seemed like NRG really lost there. I mean, and NRG is a dominant team, and they had a good comp there, but you give Merc and Erlang Shen to them twice?
They tried to switch it in the jungle, needed to switch it in the solo lane, needed a more aggressive pick than the Chang'e to hold the Erlang Shen at bay. Deathwalker really ran away with this, and because of that, the mental state of adapting, I think, just wasn't there. The mechanics of adapting and homiefe, because homiefe missed quite a few ultimates on this Scylla, needed to step it up, but I think their mentality was just checked out since the beginning invade.
Although we see Wlfy here with a 5-1 and 10, Wlfy also kind of seemed to be a little hyper, a little over-aggressive, and then kind of wasted his ults a few times as Raijin.
At that point, you're so far ahead as Rival, it doesn't even matter, because there's no possible way NRG can counteract that.
Yeah, basically.
There's really not much to say to this. It was a very clean win here. Team Rival, though, going up against Trifecta, an unusual team, a team that maybe AlphaJackal doesn't really have a book written about yet.
It's true, but as long as he focuses out against Paul and Sam, the 2 dominant players of Trifecta, I'm pretty sure Rival will be prepared despite what they were able to do today.
For this game, though, for this set, everyone on Rival did very well, but we're going to give it to Deathwalker there. iceicebaby on the mark was phenomenal, but going in 1v2, or 1v2, 1v3 over and over and over again, and winning, living, and getting a kill.
Like, look at this, game number 1. How are you going to stop this? Like, one person comes off, all right, I'll 1v1 you here for a second. Another person gets off, all right, I'll just go in for the second one. And I think if he used a turtle form there, he might have gotten that health shield to buy him more health and get a second kill.
Yeah, maybe, but I just think he was in a position where, like the Mink form, you get the haste and fatalities effect, and you want to make sure he actually gets this kill. Because just getting that 1 kill, he can back for Berserker shield, so regardless, it's just going to be a good trade.
That's true.
Deathwalker is your MVP for the last match of the PC side of things, everyone. After this game and after the interview, we are going to be jumping into the console side of things.
I'm expecting an interesting matchup there between Xbox versus the PlayStation. We've never seen it before.
Never.
So it should be really exciting in that one. But going back into the set, yeah, Deathwalker, you cannot allow this man to have Erlang Shen. So Trifecta is going to have an easier time preparing for Rival than the vice versa.
Really?
It's just ban Erlang.
But AlphaJackal is he's the engine behind, or not the engine behind, he's the brains of the operation.
Sure.
How can you just kind of discredit him and be like, oh, well, Rival's going to have a harder time here?
Well, I think that it's easier to predict what Rival are going to try to do, right? Like, they want Erlang Shen, obviously. They want Mercury for iceicebaby, and Trifecta are going to know that. But Rival have a lot of tricks up their sleeve still.
I think so too, and I think they just went with the same strategy because it went so well, and they read that NRG is not going to go with the pressure. So they just went with the same strategy so they didn't have to show anything for tomorrow, and I think that's a smart plan. And it executed very well.
That's true.
So Rival, though, very aggressive at the start of that game, and then just kind of took it away. Is Trifecta going to have to also play aggressive, or are they going to change up their play?
What they should do is just start warning to see what's really going to happen. Because if it's only Deathwalker, maybe they can handle it with an aggressive soul laner. But if they're going to see other Rival members start trickling down, then that's when they're going to know you're going to have to disengage.
And you're right about that, though, about Trifecta, that they're going to have to ward more, because we saw that in the previous game, or in the previous set, that they didn't really have much vision, and that's why the Fire Giant was able to go uncontested several times.
They just kind of assumed also that that invade was going to happen with only one member. And once Rival brought in 2 additional ones, NRG got caught slipping 2 games in a row. It's just like, it felt like NRG was playing checkers and Rival was playing chess.
I thought this was going to be the closest game of the day, and I think it was the most polarized.
Yes.
Out of all the sets that we saw today, though, Lasbra, is there one that like you loved the most? Is there one that you were just jumping out of the seat for?
I mean, I'm a big fanboy. I love my boys at Dignitas.
Also,
Really
going to game 3 too, and like getting to see them change up their meta a little bit was really exciting.
Yeah, I like that.
But the game that we just saw there, Rival, the winners out of there, we have an interview with them right now.
All right, Rival, congratulations on your victory. Deathwalker, what did NRG do to you that you felt like 1v3ing them twice?
Adapting ganks me way too often in scrims. I don't like it, so I just decided to give him the same treatment.
Well, the treatment certainly worked. Coming to this one, Yaman obviously not here, homiefe stepping in. There's a lot of different ways to approach that. Agra and I were talking about attack the jungler, attack the mid lane. How did you guys specifically attack this team with a substitute?
Well, I think game 1 we had the plan in our head to invade the speed, and then like after the first blood, after that like 1v3, we're pretty confident, and then we knew what the strat was. We just needed to replicate it. We knew how they were going to respond in game 2 to our strat game 1, so we just amplified the pressure on speed, and everything worked out.
You guys with NRG have a storied history of games that usually last longer than that set just did. Is that what you expected coming into this, even with Homie playing for NRG?
We didn't expect that, and I think it just came down to picks and bans. After game 1 performance, I don't think there's any universe that we should have got Mercury and Erlang Shen in the same draft again. It was the easiest set of picks and bans I've ever had to do.
Very confident you guys sound. Alpha Jackal, certainly a lot different from the summertime where you weren't there. The placement stages were one thing, but here you guys look like classic Rival. Is there something specific that you guys have done, either in-game or out of game, to really bottle that lightning and move forward?
We went to Walmart a lot. We bought a lot of products, especially hand sanitizer, so we kept it clean.
Don't forget about that.
Bath bombs.
The bath bombs.
I think that helped a lot.
Bath bombs?
No one's sick.
Bath bombs?
Yeah, there we go.
We really can't take you guys anywhere. Final question before we let you go. Trifecta is your opponent tomorrow. Probably not something that you guys were expecting, or was it? What did you think of them, and how excited are you to play them?
Yeah, we're good.
Happy birthday, Cliz.
Zap, don't solo vote.
I think we better go back to Kelly on the desk.